How's everybody doing out there? This is the Black Effect Enterprise. This episode of the Black Effect. I want to go ahead and get into this. You know how we do it. This era is passing away. This is the end of an era, part 2. End of an era, part 2. This world as we know it, you had different ages of time on this planet. We've had the age of enlightenment. We've had the medieval age. We've had the ancient times. We've had the biblical times. We've had the times of that's just passed. Like all of these eras, they can happen in different amounts of time. Like eras can end in different amounts of time. There is no time limit. We're coming into the end of the age as we know it. And the age that I'm talking about is the modern day. I would just call it the modern age. We can call it. The modern age is coming to an end. You have these movies or the futuristic movies like Total Recall and things like that. No, I don't. If you ask me, that is not where we're headed. This is the last age of the earth. It's getting hotter on the earth. If you really look up, if you actually do the research and look up statistics, this earth is getting hotter. You know, the sun, only one thing has to go awry in this universe, in this fine-tuned universe. And then the earth is over. It'll burn up. The universe will go out of whack. It'll be chaos. But it's held together by the fine-tuning of the Lord himself. It's not going to always be so. There is no time limit. Like the Lord says, no one knows when this will be. No one knows when, but it can happen like this. In the times of Noah, people was moving about, doing just like they do today, calling themselves, living their best life, worried about, the next day the next job assignment that they got, the crops and all this foolishness. And Noah was telling them that the world was fixing to pass away, that everybody, that there was going to be a flood, a massive flood on the earth, and everything was going to pass away. The end of that era. God started over. That was the end of an age. God started over. Everybody was gone except Noah and his family and the animals. And they, to come and repopulate the earth or come and start over. That was what God did. You understand? He started over with people as the end of an age. It's the same thing you had with the medieval age. The medieval age ended. You understand? You don't have knights and the same culture elements that you had then. You didn't have now the same thing with the biblical age and the age of religion. Like you don't have people, like you had a group of people back in the day who they took this religion stuff as gospel. This was how they lived their life. This wasn't just called religion. This was a way of living. That's where their understanding of the truth was how they lived their life. That's so far removed from people today. You only have a remnants of people who live their life like that today. It's too many distractions, and you can thank technology and all of this stuff that you thought was going to improve the human condition, but it doesn't. Technology is not something that is going to improve the human condition. If you look, the one thing that's in common through all the eras is the human condition. You understand? Wars, humans fight each other. They can't get along. Nobody can get on one accord. For the most part, people, they never in the truth. You know what I'm saying? Even in the times, like I said, that that God was a known factor upon the earth. This was known to people. They still were in rebellion, and they still were giving God a hard time. They still were doing things that were contrary to the way he wants human beings to live. That's the theme that's been carried out throughout time and era and age. This is the same thing. So you have to, for those who are smart, you have to understand that is the true thing that hinders human beings and that can't be solved. It's not about technology, all this stuff. You can try to do as much as you can. Look, everything came with innovation. from the Tower of Babel. You know, they built this tower, this great tower that was reaching up to heaven. They was doing that in biblical times. You understand? God destroyed that and scattered the people and gave them all different languages. That's why God has been doing these things on the earth. You understand? Because like I said, of the human element of people that you just can't change, the nature. We've came through all of these things. You had feminism. You've already probably had times historically where men have tried to experiment with giving women certain levels of power, certain levels of footing, and they've seen it go wrong. And that's why, if you look in other countries and other places, they not doing that anymore. They won't. The women aren't given the same type of equality or rights, or I would say the rights, because women deserve rights, and of course, but they aren't given the same roles as men. They aren't. They aren't allowed to be men or act like men, and they aren't given the same roles as men. And that's just the facts. Because men throughout history have seen that be a problem. That is a problem. Women actually, in all honesty, they aren't equal to men. They are not men. Men aren't women. We all have different roles and things that are ordained by God. You take it up with him. But all these things are coming to pass. You're going to see this technology, this great so-called great technology that people have. It's not going to be able to save you in these times that are coming. The age is going to end. The era is going to end. It has to. It's going to end. God is called. You could tell those of us who have discernment, we feeling it. We feel it coming soon. We have discernment from God. But the age has to end. We've been through wars, we've been through ignorance of enslaving another group of people, trying to make them think that they're inferior humans by nature, when actually these were the first humans on earth. We've been through that and had to relearn everything. That clusterfuck. We've been through of course, you know, all of the elements of the Jim Crow, the segregating the water, and you can't drink out my water fountain, and this ain't for you. We don't want the cooties. We've been through that. We've been through we've been through establishing a great militia. That's the U.S. Army and things like that, to trying to now dehumanize the same militia, and to now trying to basically pull Order 66 on the police and the people who served in the country. We have, like I said, we've seen our women basically go from being family oriented, serving their husbands, to becoming straight up prostitutes, digital prostitutes, physical prostitutes. We've seen the children start doing things at a younger age, not having any parental guidance. This stuff has to end. Like all of the human elements are just going awry. But you still have people talking about false technology. We saw that the true illnesses and elements that kill and affect people in the worst ways come from man-made creation. We've seen that. There is no debate anymore. The illnesses that God has created, they've been on the earth since time immemorial, and they're not going nowhere. But the ones that you can't get rid of, the stuff that you don't know what's going on, all these extra strong diseases, they come from man, spedunkering in the labs. And we've told you this before, so this isn't nothing new. But this is what you get in this tech when you start messing around with all this technology and stuff, and thinking that this is gonna make you, gonna make human beings greater or make them better, when it don't. It does not. It will not. You have to change the heart. You need a relationship with your creator. You understand? So you can be able to have a spiritual awakening. That's what you need. That's what's going to make human beings better. And all those things will be added to you because you don't know where ideas come from. You don't know where. And I guarantee, man, and it's deep. I feel this deep in my spirit that there are beings, the satanic beings, like these higher up people who got money. They know about those beings. You better believe that. And they can give you gifts also. It's something deep in my spirit that's telling me that the stuff you see, a lot of this technology and a lot of this stuff that be having people distracted and all caught up and stuff, this comes from those beings. They give those ideas. They tell people how to create them things. They give you the blueprints in your mind and then stuff like that. You don't know where this stuff comes from. But enjoy it while you got it, man, because this stuff is ending. You know, you having food shortages. You finna start seeing famines. You finna start seeing old things that you finna start seeing the things of old come to pass today. Like I said, biblical plagues you finna start seeing come to pass. Old things that you thought were gone, like that you thought were antiquated. No, everything comes full circle. But this age is going to end. And who knows, the next one, hopefully the next one we get in is going to start, moving in a more positive direction on a human level, man, getting closer to God. And you know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean. Hopefully this next era, what happens next, the things that happen next is going to pull you closer to God, hopefully. So with that being said, it's your man, Nico B, Blackeffect. I'm gone.